Welcome back to Watercolor Wednesday, where we're tackling this Learn to Watercolor book. You can check out the intro video or even last week's video to kind of get some more information about this book. So we're just going to jump right into it. So the next lesson in this book is Hot and Cold Mountains. So let's see. Here's last week's finished product. You can really kind of tell once it's dried, you know, it goes from purple to a more red color. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I'll put these in a stash. When I get done with all these, then we'll kind of do a flip through and talk more about them. So anyways, got our little swatchy thing and our little scrappy. Oh, the leftover paint that I had in a tray last week, I just poured it onto here, and so we have this weird painty page. So set that there. So I will admit that I'm slightly intimidated by the mess on my desk. This image. I don't know why. But I am. So we're just gonna jump right into it. So the idea behind this is kind of play with cool and warm colors, from my understanding. And it says the supplies a size 3 quill brush or a size 12 round brush. Now, we're using what we have. I have a size 11 round brush, which is okay because, again, I'm kind of intimidated by this painting. So if I go in with a smaller brush, I feel like I'll be okay, if that makes any sort of sense. So size 3 quill brush or size 12 round brush. I have a size 11. I have a size 11, 10, 9, 8. This is the largest that I have, aside from this guy, and he's not what we're doing. So this is a medium Zen brush, whatever that is. Again, I have a random mix of stuff. So yeah, we're working with a size smaller. That's okay. Color palette is Payne's Gray, Phthalo Blue, Permanent Yellow Deep, Prussian Blue, Quinacridone Magenta, Sap Green, and Vermilion. And we have, you know, already kind of figured these out. And color mixing yellowy orange is 50% Permanent Yellow Deep and 50% Vermilion at 60% saturation. I have no idea what that means. Yeah. So let's see if we can read a little bit about... The thing that's confusing me is 60% saturation. Saturation. This says, okay, so here's a little chart. I don't know that this is going to help me any, but we're gonna read through it. Value and saturation go hand in hand. Saturation is how strong or close to its full value a color can be. A color can be desaturated with either water, a gray, black, or even complementary color. In general, less saturated colors have more pale or dull appearance. You can see 3 color stripes below. I think they meant above. They are at their full saturation on the left at 100%. But as they move towards the right, I've added more and more water, which desaturates the color. When I talk about mixing colors to a certain saturation, imagine 100% saturation and then adjust with more or less water to achieve the desired percentage. Okay. So she said in here, Permanent Yellow Deep and 50% Permanent Yellow Deep and 50% Vermilion at a 60% saturation. So I don't know if that tells me anything, really, honestly. I don't do well with brain exercises here. So I think what I'm going to do is we need 3 different color mixes: a yellowy orange, a purple mountain, and a cool teal. So I think I'm going to use these and just mix these up and see where I get with it. And we'll just kind of go from there. I'm trying to figure out how's the best way to add water. I wonder if it's a little quicker. Just want to get us a little tray of water that we can work with. Funny how these all close together, but this one kind of did its own thing. What are you doing? Mix together here. Okay. So let's mix our colors. Yellowy orange, 50% yellow deep. And according to our little chart, permanent yellow deep is the top. So we've got to get our paints right. I've charged my paints a little bit. Probably wouldn't hurt to charge them again. And I did that right on this book. And I'm not being too precious about this book. I'm just not. So the permanent yellow deep is the top four. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's this guy. And it says 50% yellow deep and 50% vermilion, which vermilion is our bright red. And I guess this is where I don't understand. You know, with like, maybe my struggle is these are pan watercolors. And maybe if I had tube watercolors, I could just squirt out a little bit and because I don't know what from here, what is that 50%? I think the 50% is half this color and half that color, but I don't know. I'm overthinking it. 50% vermilion, and my vermilion is my top 4. One, 2, 3, 4. See, I don't know at what point I've added the 50%, I guess. We want a yellowy orange. And see, that's very red. So I feel like I need more yellow. I'm kind of adding it over to the side so I don't get the red on my brush and contaminate my yellow over here. So this may be easier with tube watercolors. It really looks pink to me. We're looking for a yellowy orange. That is not yellowy orange. Okay. So we're gonna go back to adding some more yellow. Wonder if I add a little bit of this other yellow. Mainly because, yeah, that's what I needed. Still got a little bit more reddish going on than I would like, but I think we're getting there. I think adding this bright yellow kind of helped tap into that yellowy, if that makes any sort of sense. So my Watercolor Wednesday videos might be, to me, that up there is a yellowy orange. You start adding this red and it just goes red. So these Watercolor Wednesday videos might be a little longer than normal. That's still just a very orange. Because again, I'm learning and we're kind of working through lessons. So okay, here's a yellowy orange, and I just hope that that's enough. Again, I don't know what 60% saturation is. I don't know if that is that we need more water in that. I don't know. So the next one is Purple Mountain. So it's 50% quinacridone magenta and 50% Prussian blue. It's that bright blue. This says 75% saturation. So let's move over to, well, we're just going to use that. This is orange. So Quin magenta is the top 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. Jumped the well. And Prussian blue. And we're looking for a Purple Mountain. I don't know what color Purple Mountain. Prussian blue is the bottom 1, 2, 3. Probably need to wash out my water, but that's pretty purple. I don't know if it's going to be... It looks like a dark purple. I think we'll go with that. And then Cool Teal is 25% sap green and 75% phthalo blue. Sap green is I mix my top greens. That's what my notes say. To get us a green. We're looking for a Cool Teal. And we want blue. Phthalo blue is bottom 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like I need a lighter blue with this. Let's see what that looks like. That looks like mud to me. Okay, maybe because I've got muddy water, but let's try this. Yeah, I feel like I need just a hint of a light blue. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so I've got my colors mixed. I think I'm going to spray them with water just to kind of give me a little more. I know that's probably not how you're supposed to do it. And maybe that messes with my saturation. But again, since we don't really understand saturation, we're going to keep going with it. So I've got my colors mixed. So start by mixing custom colors. Did that. On the upper right hand side, begin painting the lightest and brightest of the warm colors. Upper right hand side, that's this. Painting the lightest and brightest of the warm colors, permanent yellow deep and a custom yellowy orange. I think first I'm going to refresh my waters. Mainly so I don't go into the painting with muddy water. So we got that going on. Okay. So on the upper right hand side, begin painting the lightest and brightest of the warm colors, permanent yellow deep and custom yellowy orange. The color placement should be loose and organic, so switch between refilling your brush with water and painting in. I don't know that that made sense. Begin painting. We're just going to kind of go with the pictures. She's showing like the yellow and our mixed color. Ugh. And we didn't get our page wet first. She didn't say to do that. There is a bit of a glare. And we're adding a little bit of this fancy orange. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a line down the middle of this. And I think it's supposed to eventually or technically end up like a white line. I don't know if you can see. So I'm kind of trying to be a little precious here. You gotta remember we're watercoloring, so it's okay to use water. So this says let's see here, the color permanent placement should be loose and organic, so switch between refilling your brush with water and painting. This says switch between refilling your brush with water and painting in quinacridone magenta or even custom purple mountain as you make your way towards the bottom of the segment. Use lots of water and lots of color and just let the magic happen. Repeat in similar fashion on the bottom right hand segment. This guy here. We're skipping over the middle segment for now and keep the segments separated so we don't have to dry after every single segment. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go with kind of following the pictures, the glare off there, and it's kind of like a mixed bag of the the yellow and our fancy new color. Quinacridone magenta. She's saying add that in there. And play with water. It's okay. I went over my line because, you know, I did. I tried not to, but... Okay. And I think I'm supposed to do the same with this bottom chunk. There is a glare. Add our fancy color in there. And a little hint of that in there. We got a lot of buildup here, and I guess that's okay. Because I guess it'll dry. Okay. So we got that going on. So this says, step 2 is on the left-hand side, paint the largest bottom segment in a similar manner using cool colors. This means we're dropping in super saturated versions of Prussian blue, phthalo blue, and custom cool teal. Payne's gray near the bottom. Add a teeny amount of saturated quinacridone magenta near the top to make it appear as if little light is pouring across the segments at the end. Let this dry or make it dry. Everything must be completely dry to prevent the cool colors from running into the warm colors. Okay, so this, we're going to tackle this big spot here, I think. Yep, this big spot here. And this says super saturated versions of Prussian blue, the phthalo blue, and the cool teal, and Payne's gray near the bottom. So let's start with Prussian blue. And our phthalo blue. I think that Prussian blue is too bright for this. And we're going to throw in some in our custom teal. That looks like mud. What's she saying? Teeny tiny saturated Quin magenta near the top to make it disappear. Oh, okay, she's got that kind of right through there. We'll do that in a minute. Let's get this covered with the blue first. I'm getting a little close there. Just a little Payne's Gray down at the at the bottom. I don't feel like that's enough on there. If that makes any sort of weird sense. I feel like my paper is shining through. She said Quin magenta sign near the top to make it appear as if a little light is pouring across the segments at the end. Okay. That just, you know, turns to mud. Did I tell y'all I'm a little bit intimidated by this one? Okay. And so, let's see here. Everything must be completely dry to prevent the cools from running together. So, let's see here. I have a little heat gun. Don't laugh at my heat gun. It's been through a lot. It's been through a lot. I used to do pour paintings, acrylic pours. And the heat gun was used to move the color and pull up the sails and all that good stuff. And I'm a messy artist, so here is my lovely heat gun, all covered in paint. But she still works, so. Unfortunately, I don't have the means to, like, speed through this or, I mean, I guess I could pause it and come back to you guys, but you know, it's part of the process. You're here with me. We're making it happen. Almost there. Okay, we do have a few little wet spots around the edges, but I'm not too concerned with them. This little guy is wanting to hang on, but I'm not too concerned with that, even though we need to be completely dry. I'll just be very careful. Be very careful. Okay, starting on the top left segment, add colors in a similar manner to the dark segment in the previous step, plus a little saturated quin magenta at the top. Try to make the colors saturated, but a little lighter or brighter near the top of the segment. From the warm side, that means placing the yellow and oranges near the top, adding a bit more water. For the cool side, I tend to use a little pink, add water to my brush. Okay. Blah. Starting on the top left segment, add cool colors in a similar manner to the dark segment in the previous step, plus a little saturated quin at the top. Try to make the colors saturated but a little lighter on or brighter near the top of this segment. Okay, let's stop there and jump up here. And we were using this guy. And we started out dark. And she said, start out light. I gotta turn my page a little bit so I can go up along this ridge without I'm trying to go up against the line and then kind of work from there is my strategy. Get an outline of our piece and then kind of work from there. A little bit of Quinn, and that was quite a bit. Move some of this color around. I don't want it to be there's an obvious line where I was, you know, being all precious around that ridge. And for whatever reason, my paper's buckling, leaving me dips and valleys. Okay, we'll just go with it. Yeah. Try to make the color saturated but a little lighter on or brighter near the top. For the warm side, that means placing the yellow and oranges near the top and adding a bit more water. For the cool side, tend to use a little pink or add water in my brush before picking up the blue. By making the colors lighter near the top and edges and darker as you go down, you will be able to mimic how the light is often caught on the top of the mountain, and the shadow will give this a bit of depth while helping to separate the segments. Okay, if you say so. Try to push our color down a bit, I think is what she's trying to tell me. Even though I have a big puddle there. How do I deal with that puddle? I guess just keep moving the water around a little bit. Okay. And then, okay. Step 4, in the right-hand side middle segment, pack lots of warm colors, starting with Quinn Magenta on the top to help give us the illusion of the light flowing over the other side. Finish with Permanent Yellow deep on the top of the right-hand side. Okay, so if we look at this middle section here, it's got a lot of the pink with the yellow over here, so that's what we're going to try to go with. The Quinn Magenta, we'll lay it down first. And that's very bold, but we'll just go with it. Trust the process, right? Give me a good layer of the pink down. Then we'll come in and add some orange and This is our custom color orange. And then we'll come in with our yellow. I'm gonna try. Oh, I've got such a glare today. Try to move some of this around. Okay. Okie dokie. Paint the bottom left segment in a similar manner as the rest of the left hand side. Let this dry or make it dry. Right, left. So she's talking about this one now. Nope, she's talking about this one now. So we'll load it up with some blue. Let's see here. Yep. Be a little precious around the edges. Get our teal in there. Okay, I bounced back and forth because I realized I didn't really use this custom color down in that one right there. And I felt like I should. Move our colors around a little bit. I'm tempted to add a little bit of Payne's Gray in there. Look at this piling up here. I said my paper's buckling a little bit. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with that. I feel like this needs to be darker, but I'm just kind of going with it. Okay, she says let this dry or make it dry before we go on to the final. Mainly just need to be dry around this part. So this says the final segment is painted in a similar way, but the crevice is extra dark to really throw it into shadow. We'll see about that. We're not doing so well at getting extra dark. You can do this by using more Payne's Gray here than other areas, or by using either of the blues at their most intense value right from the tube or pan. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. That's pretty dark. Get right up in that crevice. I gotta be extra precious about this one. Now I know why this one was so intimidating to me. Because I had to paint right up to these little lines and woof. That's pretty saturated in there. I think I'm just going to leave it that way. Keep dipping my hand in the wet paint down below. That's probably why she tells you to get it all dry, so you're not dipping your hand in it. Move the paint around a little bit. Oy, 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 oy. I don't know about all this. I don't know that I need to use any paints. That's pretty dark. And so that's the last segment. Let's do a comparison, a side-by-side comparison, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm struggling with. She got dark mountains. I don't have very dark mountains. So we're gonna try to go. We're gonna go back over this. Add another layer. I don't know if you can do that or if you're supposed to do that, but we're gonna do that. And I'm just using our teal that we made. kind of like this top one. It's got some purple going on in it. But the top one was one she was talking about, like at the bottom. It needed to be darker, but let's just add some purple in. Maybe I need to add the purple to this guy. That adds another layer of dark to it. Just down at the bottom. I think that's helping. I mean, I'm pretty pleased with the warm colors. Just the cool colors I wasn't really feeling. Oh, I'm feeling that a little better now. Let's do a little overall drying, and then we'll kind of see where we are with it. Okay, I think we'll call this done. It's one of those that I'm probably like, maybe when I come back and look at it, I'll like it, but not 100% sure on this one. I don't really see the comparison, and maybe I shouldn't be comparing. I don't know. It doesn't say to, but I feel like I need to come back in with a white, like a gel pen or something, and outline us, but I don't know. Again, this is all like a learning lesson, so we're learning. And that's what we have for this lesson. So this lesson was hot and cold mountains. And I mean, I think we got hot and cold mountains. So I guess I'm okay with that. So thanks for joining me on this lesson. And the next lesson is sweet as honey. So we'll see if we can have some fun with some honeycomb the next lesson. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Again, we're working in the Learn to Watercolor book by Lacey Walker at Rebel Unicorn Crafts. I'm no way affiliated with them. You can find this on Amazon. You can find it on her website, Rebel Unicorn Crafts. And, jump in and join along on the fun. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.